Yankees reliever Lou Trivino signs minor league deal with Giants. The New York Yankees have lost a key bullpen arm, as Lou Trivino has signed a minor league deal with the San Francisco Giants, with an invite to spring training. This move comes after the Yankees declined Trivino's team option for the 2025 season, making him a free agent. Trivino's time with the Yankees. Trivino was acquired by the Yankees in 2022 in a trade with the Oakland Athletics, part of the deal that brought Frankie Montas to New York. Trivino immediately made an impact in the bullpen, posting a stellar 1.66 ERA and striking out 22 batters in 21.2 innings that year. However, after a strong 2022 campaign, Trivino has been sidelined due to Tommy John surgery, which he underwent in 2023. As a result, he has not pitched in a major league game since that time. This lengthy absence and the uncertainty surrounding his recovery led the Yankees to let him go, paving the way for his move to the Giants. What the Giants are getting. San Francisco is now bringing in a proven high-leverage reliever with a history of success in the late innings. Trivino has accumulated 37 career saves, including 22 in the 2021 season with Oakland. Known for his arsenal, which includes a high-powered sinker, cutter, and a sweeping slider, Trivino has been difficult for hitters to handle. Batters have hit just .205 against his cutter and under .200 on all of his off-speed pitches. Though Trivino is coming off of Tommy John surgery at 33 years old, the Giants are taking a relatively low-risk gamble on his ability to return to form. At a cheap cost, he could prove to be a valuable addition to their bullpen. Yankees bullpen moves. Despite losing Trivino, the Yankees have made moves to strengthen their bullpen this offseason. They traded for Devin Williams and Fernando Cruz, and also re-signed Tim Hill to a one-year deal. The Yankees are clearly focused on enhancing their bullpen strikeout potential, ensuring they are in a strong position heading into the 2025 season. While losing Trivino is a blow, New York has effectively retooled their relief corps to minimize any damage from his departure. As Trivino works his way back to health, his future with the Giants could be promising. But for now, the Yankees bullpen remains in capable hands with their recent additions. Hey, baseball fans, buckle up because we're diving into one of the most dramatic, nail-biting, and downright puzzling trends in Major League Baseball today. Yep, it's time to talk about the state of free agency. Alright, we've all been there, right? The dream scenario for any ballplayer is to get to free agency and cash in. After all those years of grueling seasons and sweat on the diamond. It's supposed to be the grand payday, right? But wait, what if it's not? What if even the top-tier guys, like Alex Bregman and Pete Alonso, can't get the massive deals they've been dreaming of? Yeah, we're talking about two-time World Series champs and 40-homer sluggers who can't get the bag they deserve. What does that mean for the rest of the free agent pool? Are the golden days of MLB free agency over? Stick around because we're going to unpack how we got here, why it's happening, and, spoiler alert, the MLB might be headed into a full-blown economic storm. Let's get into it. Before we start though, smash that subscribe button and let's dive in. A changing free agent landscape. What went wrong? Now let's rewind a bit. Free agency used to be the golden ticket for players. Think about it, 6 or 7 years with a team, grinding it out, and then boom. You hit free agency and suddenly, you're the hottest commodity on the market. Teams line up to sign you, ready to give you that big money deal. The sky's the limit. But fast forward to today. And, something's different. Sure, we've seen those historic contracts in recent years. Like Shohei Ohtani's jaw-dropping $700 million deal with the Dodgers. Or Juan Soto's mind-boggling $765 million deal with the Mets. But wait. These aren't exactly the rule, they're the exception. Here's the kicker. While teams are throwing insane money at the likes of Ohtani and Soto, when it comes to older players, teams are getting way more cautious. You see, back in the day, think 2000s to early 2010s, teams were all about paying veteran players big bucks, even as they neared their 30s. We saw it with stars like Albert Pujols and Miguel Cabrera, who each landed massive contracts well into their 30s. Sure, they were legends, but let's be real, both their performances declined pretty quickly after signing those deals. And that's where we see the pendulum swing in another direction. MLB is now all about youth. Teams are betting on younger players and looking for bang for their buck. Enter a problem. Free agents in their late 20s to early 30s are starting to feel like yesterday's news. Think about Pete Alonso, one of the most fearsome sluggers in the game. He's still in his prime, and yet it took until the last minute for him to sign a deal with the Mets. And the deal he got? A 2-year, $54 million contract. That's nothing compared to what he and his super agent, Scott Boras, were hoping for. We're talking around $150 million. Now if that doesn't raise eyebrows, I don't know what will. Alex Bregman, a 2-time World Series champ with few options? Then, there's Alex Bregman, who is, by the numbers, still one of the top third basemen in the league. His defensive stats are still on point, and he's been a key piece in 2 World Series victories with the Houston Astros. But despite all that, here he is, still unsigned as teams are heading to spring training. Does that seem right? For players like Bregman, Alonso, and other free agents in their 30s, free agency should be the time to cash in. But instead, it feels like teams are more focused on player risk than ever. Why? Because of that dreaded decline phase we see all too often with older players. So, what happens? Big-name players like Alonso and Bregman are getting sidelined for contract talks. And other teams seem hesitant to even throw a lifeline their way. That's not a great sign for free agency as a whole. Mid-tier free agents left in the dust? And if 2 of the most productive players in the league can't get paid what they deserve, what does that mean for everyone else? Think about all those mid-tier and lower-tier free agents out there. The players who may not have the name recognition of Ohtani or Soto but are still solid contributors. Are they even going to get a fair deal anymore? Free agency was supposed to be the pathway to big paydays. But now it's starting to look like that's only true for a very select few. It's Ohtani, Soto, or bust. Sure, we're still seeing big-time deals for certain players. But they are the rarities. Most guys are left waiting around for that perfect opportunity to cash in. The impact on the MLB market. Will a salary cap become a reality? And speaking of money, let's address the elephant in the room. With all this economic tightening, are we headed towards a salary cap? Well, if you ask certain owners, that idea is gaining traction. The complaints about teams like the Los Angeles Dodgers, with their insane payrolls, have been getting louder. Some owners are pushing for a salary cap, claiming that it's ruining the competitive balance of the league. Ironically, the Dodgers are one of the teams best positioned to take advantage of this system. But that's a conversation for another day. The point is, the economics of baseball are shifting. Despite MLB pulling in a record $12 billion in revenue last year, it's not exactly trickling down to the players. It feels like there's a disconnect between the booming revenue and the actual paychecks that help generate it. This is going to be a massive issue when the next collective bargaining agreement, CBA, rolls around. And it's something that could spark an ugly battle between the owners and the players' union. Buckle up for that one. Where do we go from here? Look, baseball's free agent market is facing a serious crisis. And if things continue like this, it could set the stage for an even worse situation in the years to come. Players are getting older, teams are tightening their belts, and the middle-tier talent is being left in the dust. Something's gotta give, whether that's a salary cap or some other drastic measure. The next few seasons in MLB free agency could look very different, and not in a good way. Conclusion. So, what do you think? Are we witnessing the death of the traditional MLB free agent market? Is the system broken? And, more importantly, is the dream of that big payday gone for good? Let me know.